Good evening, members, guests, and fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to our meeting this evening. Our theme this evening is Finding Your Flow, and it is our 190th meeting of ToastEd. We're so excited to have you all here, especially our guests. Welcome. And for those on Zoom, please rename yourselves by making use of the 3 dots in the top right corner of your screen, just to mention if you're a guest and your name, please. And to ensure that it's an enjoyable evening, please stay muted until you need to speak. Due to our growth as Toastmasters, we record our meetings. So if you do not want to be on social media, you can please keep your cameras off. For online, we use jazz hands to clap. And of course, in the room, you're encouraged to clap as hard as you'd like to. If you need the bathroom for us in the room, it's down the aisle and then to the left. And before I hand over to our president, Justine, I would like to read out our club promise. ToastEd Toastmaster Club promises to provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I wish you an exciting evening, and I will leave you now in the hands of Justine. Please welcome.
Thank you, Anna, for that warm welcome on this chilly day. We definitely need lots of warm welcomes. I know Anna has just mentioned for everyone online, if you don't want to be famous on YouTube, to turn your cameras off. But please, just while we have our welcomes, can I ask you to please turn your cameras on so we can see your beautiful faces and we don't have just a blank screen behind us. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. It's so lovely to see all of our guests and our members online and our guests online. It's lovely to have you all with us this evening on this very cold evening. And I would like to just acknowledge those. Oh, see, our screen looks amazing now. I'll just quickly show you what I'm seeing. Looks fabulous. Thank you. We have had 2 birthdays in our month of May, which is still quite young. We had Michaela, beginning of May, and it was her 30th birthday. So happy birthday.
Philippa.
Still a spring chicken. And then we also had our wonderful, joyful Julia's birthday on Sunday, along with Mother's Day. So happy birthday!
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Julia. We're missing you. I hope you're recovering nicely. And then I would like to just quickly spread a warm welcome to all of our guests online and our guests in the room. So I'm going to start with everybody online. So I'll just go around and welcome you. And you can just let me know what it is that has brought you to Toastmasters this evening. And if there's anything that you would like to share with us, you're welcome to share. So I'm going to start with AJ. Welcome. It's so lovely to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Good. And what has brought you to Toastmasters this evening, AJ?
Well, I've done some public speaking in the past, and I also have facilitated workshops and done trainings, but I've got a keynote coming up at Stellenbosch University, and I figured the one place I wanted to be at was Toastmasters, just to kind of wrap my head around stuff and find, you know, a way to vastly improve what I probably consider to be a really well-written speech at this point. So yeah, and also I think Toastmasters is an amazing platform to progress. So that's really why I'm here. So I will move from a guest to a paid member, but that'll come in time. Yeah.
Amazing. Fabulous. How long is your keynote?
So I was asked to do 60 minutes, and then I asked them, no, I like facilitation. I like back and forth with an audience. So I suggested 45 and then 50 minutes for questions that we actually get ahead of time rather than spontaneous, because it's always very awkward. Somebody's trying to rush off from one table to another with a handheld microphone. So we'll get the questions in with the, what there's on, then we'll select the ones that are more appropriate for the actual context of the actual keynote. So it's 4 universities coming under the umbrella of Stellenbosch. So it's quite auspicious.
Awesome. Well, this is definitely the place to be. It's a safe environment for you to practice and to get comfortable in front of people. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for being with us. And Linda, welcome. Nice to see you again, even though it's online. Are you in France at the moment?
It's lovely to see you. I didn't believe it would work. Yes, I'm in Normandy.
Lovely.
We had a huge electric storm on Saturday night with the sky being ripped open by lightning and the clouds and thunder. And I was very impressed. Then I heard what was happening in Cape Town, and I thought our little storm's actually not too much. But no, I was lucky enough to be at the meeting physically last time, and I enjoyed it so much that I'm very happy to be able to participate on holiday until I get back physically.
Fabulous. It was lovely to have you, even though you're online. So thank you so much.
Thanks very much for organizing it.
Cool. And Marika, welcome. Lovely to see you online. What has brought you to this evening?
So similar to others, so Toastmasters obviously has quite a few different pathways. So I think it's the leadership, and I'm okay with public speaking. I've done that a few times where it's more about speaking in executive environments and not losing your trail of thoughts and just getting that amazing feedback that you get from Toastmasters and meeting interesting people. I'm really sorry I couldn't come out. I had friends, everybody was just telling me it's insane to try to drive through to Cape Town this evening. But thank you that you do it online and you have that option.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you for joining us online. It's lovely to have you. And definitely, I think it is, if you are comfortable with public speaking, that's amazing. And then it's just about not losing your train of thought, which it happens. It happens to all of us, but it's just about becoming more comfortable in that situation. So thank you. Lovely to have you. And then I must just acknowledge all of our members. So we've got Andrea, and we've got Kwame, and we've got Julia, and Tabang. Nice to see you all. Hello. Okay, then I'm going to ask Eugene to I'm going to swap out cameras so I can show all of you online who's who in the room. So please just give me 1 second. Eugene's just quickly joining the Zoom, and then I will have my camera. Are you not coming in? Oh. There you go. Thanks, Eugene.
Which one isn't? 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 You gone?
We're getting quite a few echoes.
I've just turned that off. I think it's the speaker. Sorry, it was causing a bit of drama. It was looking for attention or something.
Okay, welcome. Here's our room. Hello, everybody. So I'm just going to go around and say hi to everyone. We've got our fabulous Bill. He's a well-known Toastmaster in the community. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us this evening. And Jerry, welcome. Lovely to see you again. Also a well-known Toastmaster in the community. Lovely to have you. Thank you. Fiora, welcome. Nice to have you. Have they dragged you along, or do you know what Toastmasters is about?
Well, it's quite a new experience.
Okay.
And I'm happy to be here.
Lovely for you to be here with us. So thank you. You can let us know at the end what your
Feedback.
yes. We look forward to feedback. We love feedback in Toastmasters. So thank you for being with us. And Tamar, hello, welcome. What has brought you to Toastmasters this evening?
I'm quite anxious about public speaking.
Yeah.
I don't do it very often and to get more comfortable when doing it.
Perfect. The right place to be. It's a safe environment. We're all here to support you. And as Marika said, it's an environment where everyone is sort of giving you feedback and you're getting whoop whoop all the time. So it's very safe and welcoming. So welcome. Thank you for being with us. Hello, hi, welcome. Lovely to have you. What has brought you to Toastmasters this evening?
So I actually haven't done a lot of public speaking honestly, since school.
Yeah.
And now I think with the program I'm into, I'm really interested in the leadership part. Seeing just how to be able to speak clearly and articulate. Yeah, I think I'm lacking a little bit of confidence in that part. So I'm hoping.
Yeah. Okay, so you've looked at the pathways already. Amazing, love it. Okay, fabulous. Because those orals at school, we all dreaded those. I think they were terrible. They all put us off public speaking. Lovely for you to be with us. Thank you. And here's Roger.
Hi.
And here's Marika. She's also a second-time guest. Welcome back. And you came back even in the weather. We didn't scare you off. Yes.
I enjoyed last month, and I'm keen to become a
Yay.
so just try to grow more.
Fabulous. Welcome.
Thank
so nice
you.
to have you. Thank you. And here's Anna. Oh, sorry. Here's Eugene and Michaela and Gabrielle. Okay, great. Thank you. Now I'm going to just hand back to Eugene. And we're back. It was lovely to have everyone with us online and in person. Thank you so much to everybody. Hi, Libby. I would like to ask everybody online and in the room to please pour something into your glass for our toast for the evening. And for everybody online, please, you're welcome to unmute yourselves. We want to hear your beautiful voices. And we are going to raise our glasses to South Africa and all
its peoples.
To South Africa and all its people.
South Africa, all its people.
Right. Thank you. I have the honor of introducing our Toastmaster of the evening, and I think it's going to be a really exciting evening because we get to learn from a Toastmaster who's been a Toastmaster for quite a long time, and he is very, very, very experienced in Toastmasters. And I think it's a great time for us to learn from Bill. So I have a very, very big warm welcome to Bill, our Toastmaster. Hey. Oh.
Thank you, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and all you people out there in the other world. Was that echoing? Because someone's actually in a cave already. They're so terrified of speaking here. I want to make a couple of changes to the agenda. For those of you at home and here online, the timekeeper today is going to be actually Roger Major. So Roger is taking over as the timekeeper for Christina Thomas. We have down first evaluator is Libby Edmonds, but that role is no longer necessary as Rochelle Rubino will not be our first speaker today. So both of those will be off of the platform. And I believe that's it in terms of changes on the agenda. And Andrea is online. Hello, Andrea. So how many of you, this is the first time you've ever been to a Toastmasters meeting? Hands up, online as well? Okay, well, I've lost a lot of pictures. Toastmasters has been around for 100 years, okay? It is all about public speaking, but public speaking, some people get mixed up about what public speaking actually is. Public speaking is not just doing this, getting up in front of an audience of 10 people, 20 people, 200 people, 2,000 people. Yes, it's one of the reasons you come here. But the reality is that public speaking is just being at a table with friends and someone starts telling a story and they ask for your opinion on something. That's public speaking. And some people are terrified of that. Or in a room like this, shaped like this, in an office. And all of a sudden the boss says, Anna, so what's your feelings about these fourth quarter projections? And now all of a sudden you're on stage. And those can be really daunting situations. Someone talked a little earlier about the anxiety that one gets in public speaking. And the reason we come here is to get over that. Get over it in being in front of an audience, but also to get over it in terms of just being in any speaking situation, be it meeting people for the first time, being at a dinner, at a meeting, whatever it is, we want you to feel comfortable. And for me, the more times you get up, the more variables that you take care of. All right. You get used to being in front of people. You get used to using your voice, projecting your voice. You get used to looking into people's eyes and seeing if your stories are registering with people. And all of those things are so key in terms of being able to get up or even just sit in front of and talk to somebody. How many of you have been in a situation where somebody has asked for an opinion in a room, in a work situation, and you've got this great idea, but a little nervous about it, don't put your hand up. And all of a sudden, Bob from accounting says exactly what you're going to say. And all of a sudden, the hosannas start coming out. Oh my God, Bob, you know, we're going to immediately make him the next CFO. And you're like, that was my idea. Well, it was, but at the same time, it wasn't, because you never offered it, right? So getting over that kind of nervousness is also another aspect of what we're talking about here. That's why we do Toastmasters. We've got a great meeting tonight. We have a number of speakers. We have evaluators for all of those speakers. So for those of you that are interested in joining or thinking about joining, there's really kind of three elements to every Toastmasters meeting. It always starts off with people doing prepared speeches. We have a program called Pathways. And right now, I believe there's 6 pathways, soon to be 8. And I think they're going to reintroduce the old traditional manual, which is what I used when I first joined 30 years ago. Okay, those ones were on stone tablets. So things have changed a lot since then. But what happens is that each person picks a pathway that they want to be in. And with that, there are 5 levels to each path. Each one of those levels has 3 to 4 speeches. But at the same time, they also ask you to do the various roles. We're going to introduce some of our functionaries in a little bit, but there's also evaluations, et cetera. So we try to get people a lot of opportunities to get up, and not just in terms of doing a prepared speech. But every person that does get up and do a prepared speech then gets evaluated by someone in the club. Now tonight we're going to have a relatively rare situation, for most clubs anyway, but because we have 2 speakers tonight that are going to be replaying, if you will, speeches that they've done in contests, they're going to then share with the group what changes they made, what the whole experience was like in a contest, et cetera. So it's going to be a little bit different than normal, but is there also going to be evaluation of those speeches, Justine, Gabrielle?
Towards the end, they're going to be going through what they have learned as they progressed, how their speech changed from the very first time they started until the end.
Perfect, perfect. So you get to see the growth of a speech, if you will, over time. And then the last part is something that we call table topics, which is really impromptu speaking. And that can be something, for example, I may say, I just got back from an amazing vacation. Jerry, please tell me about the worst holiday experience you've ever had. And we ask someone to get up here and speak for anything from 1 minute to 2 minutes and give their thoughts on that. That's a relatively easy one. I would call that a softball question in the United States. But basically what we're trying to do is to get people up here, get used to being in front of an audience. Because the more times you do it, the easier it becomes. So let's get started. Let me introduce you to those role players, those functionaries that I was talking about before. Our first one today is going to be our timekeeper, Roger Major. Roger, can you please stand up and tell the room and then those online exactly what your role entails?
Thank you, Bill, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role this evening is to be the timekeeper, as Bill said, timekeeper of the evening, which means basically I will be measuring the length of each speech, each of the speakers' speech, to make sure they keep within the time, because they will know already that it's between 5, 6 or 7 minutes maximum. What we do allow to go over 30 seconds over. So what will happen when they're speaking and they get to 5 minutes? I will show the green card. When I've got the timer. When they get to 6 minutes, I will show the yellow card, which tells them they've got 1 more minute. When they get to 7 minutes in their speech, I will show the red card, which we do allow them a 30-second grace. So that card will stay up and they know they're inside the last 30 seconds. Now, I will also be timekeeping on the evaluators. For the evaluators, it will be 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes and 3 minutes. So that is 2 minutes on the green card. And then after 2.5 minutes, I change to yellow. And then after 3 minutes, I change to red. Again, we allow 30-second grace. Then we've got the table topics, as Bill has mentioned. Finally, we've got the table topics. So it's 1 minute for the green card on table topics, 1.5 minutes on the yellow card into your speech, and then the red card will be shown after 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. Don't fast.
Thank you, Roger. Our counter today is going to be Michaela. Please, Michaela, can you tell us about your role?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So my role is specifically a listening role where I need to pick up any ums, ahs, buts, so it's basically these filler words that sometimes creep into your sentences without you realizing. And it's so important to, and it might seem tedious towards the end when I tell you maybe you had 5 or 20 so's, but then you realize, oh, that's my crutch word. So this is just a nice way to kind of have a flow of sentence, know where you're going wrong, and build from there. Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you, Michaela. Our grammarian today is Anna Gelhar. Anna, can you please tell us about your role?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, to listen carefully to their language skills and their usage, and I'll take note of improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As the grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. Today's word of the day is lucid, which means clear, easy to understand or rational, describing something expressed plainly. It also means bright, luminous, or transparent. An example of using this word would be, she gave a lucid description of the situation so everyone understood what she was saying. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Anna. We're good. All right, I'm going to bring us into the prepared speech segment. Now, like I said, these are going to be speeches that were done in the speech contest. And just for you that are new to Toastmasters, what happens is every single year we have contests that starts at the club level in the international speech contest, and any speech you want to do, again, 5 to 7 minutes. We have an evaluation contest, which is where one speaker will get up. We call them him or her a test speaker, and that person will give a speech, and then anything from 3 to 8 people will evaluate that same speech. And then we also do it in table topics, the impromptu speaking that we were talking about. In this case, we're going to have 2 of our speakers get up who were in the international speech contest. And our first speaker today is Eugene Assem. And Eugene's speech is called The Dream Engine. Ladies and gentlemen, with a speech entitled The Dream Engine, please welcome Eugene Assem.
Imagine a train on a track. This train can move both ways. In one direction is towards everything that you want. Money, the career that you want, love, and fulfillment. All of that is on one side of the train. On the other side is everything that you don't want. The lack of money, the lack of good health, and the lack of the things that you want in life. Now imagine you could move this train in any direction that you want by stacking engines on one side. If you want the train to move towards what you want, you stack the engines towards the direction that leads to the things that you want. And if you stack engines on the other end, then you're heading towards what you don't want. Now imagine that these engines are your thoughts. Toastmasters, sorry, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. In 2021, the government in my country, Ghana, began debating a violent homophobic law. And that law suggested 5 years imprisonment for anyone on suspicion of being gay and 10 years for anyone who supports any sort of gay rights. Now, this was such a confusing time in my life. There was a lot of things going on around with a lot of people agreeing with this law, and everywhere you went, on the radio, at dinner tables, in public transport, everyone debating this law and supporting it, some even going as far as suggesting the death penalty. Now, at that time, I was in such a place of really searching for a way to find a way to improve my situation at the time. And that was when I came across the teachings of a man called Napoleon Hill. Now, Napoleon Hill spent a lot of time interviewing some of the most successful people of his time, including artists, politicians, and titans of industry. And one thing that came about in these interviews that he had with these people, is that we become what we think about, and we become what we think about most of the time. Now, imagine, let's go back to the train analogy, where here I am in a situation where everything around me is teaching me to stack engines and thoughts towards the things that I fear could happen, whether I would be brutalized by my community or end up losing a lot of the friends and family that I had. On the other end was joy and a life of freedom and fulfillment. And with this teaching that I came across of Napoleon Hill, I was able to, at the time, change my thoughts completely and denied myself the the freedom or the burden of paying attention to the environment around me and having that repeat itself. I only focused on what I wanted. And so I began imagining, what does freedom look like? What country would I move to if I wanted to? What do the people look like? What does the environment look like? What do the foods taste like? I spent everything I could, every amount of energy and mental focus I could on focusing on that. And within a month and a half, I was in South Africa. And that is why I realized this what you think about, you bring about stuff really works. And so I've never looked back. I've kept using this and I've used it to gain some really cool jobs. I've used it to get really nice apartments. And for anyone who's been in the audience for any of my speeches, you know that this is all I talk about. And it's because I've also used it to overcome my fear of public speaking and was able to go on to be second place at the Toastmasters speech contest at the area level. And so now you all may not be on the receiving end of a ghastly Ghanaian gay bashing, but you all have the ability to do this in your lives as well. Imagine, let's say you want an apartment, you're scrolling on Property 24, you see a really beautiful house at the beachfront in Cape Town, and you really want that house, but then you see the price, and then you close the tab, and then you never dream about it again because you tell yourself, that isn't possible for me. You didn't stack enough engines towards the direction of what you wanted, and so the train never really left the station. Now imagine, for another example, let's say you want a relationship and you are looking for a specific type of relationship and that is fulfilling and loving, etc. And you are paying attention to what is out there and what everyone else is saying about relationships. Oh God, have you seen what's out there? Have you seen how people are lying to each other, people cheating on each other? What you've just done is you've stacked engines all the way in the direction of what you don't want, and you never gave it, that you never stack any towards what you do want. And so that wanting of a relationship never got going. It never started becoming and never gained any momentum because all the focus was on what you didn't want. Now, let's take all the sort of magical thinking out of it and come out back down to earth for a bit. Let's say there are two people interviewing for a job. One of them is really excited about this opportunity and he's already prepped for the interview. He's excited about even the logo. He's excited about talking to his coworkers in the elevator and all the work he's going to do. And he's just really excited about the opportunity. And imagine someone else going for the same role, sort of dejected because he's been applying for jobs over and over again and hasn't got a job and is disheartened because why would this be any different when I've applied for all these jobs and none of them have attended to me? Which of these two people is most likely to get the role? It is the one who believes that he can get it. And so today I would like to invite you all to consider where you are stuck in your engines. Whenever you get a glimpse of something that you do want, that imagine how it'll feel to have it and what you would use whatever you're wanting for and stack engines towards what you do want and none towards what you don't want. And just like I did, you can keep stacking engines towards what you want and keep stacking until the things you want feel not just possible, but certain. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene. Our second speaker today is Andrea Baptista with a speech entitled The Blazer. With a speech titled The Blazer, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrea Baptista.
Hi, everybody. Just excuse my voice a little bit. I've been having the flu, so I'm going to try and do my best with this speech. But if I start having a cough attack, just excuse me. Right. Some fathers teach their daughters confidence by saying, "You can do anything." Some fathers teach their daughters courage by saying, "You're so beautiful and you can do it." My father did neither. My father believed in something else, resilience. And with 3 daughters in the house, I don't blame him. He knew that life wouldn't always be kind. And that's why one day he made a shocking decision. Toastmasters and guests, my father sent us to an all-boys high school, Christian Brothers College, CBC for short, a Catholic school run by brothers where discipline was a lifestyle and teenage testosterone roamed those corridors like oxygen. And for a little while, I was the only girl in my class. Can you imagine that? Walking into a classroom full of teenage boys as a teenage girl? This is not a moment. This is an event. The teacher looked at me thinking, good luck. The boys stared at me wondering, bro, why is she here? And I stared at my father thinking, did you lose your mind? Teenage boys are not from this planet. They are from a strange and distant world where deodorant is scarce. Emotions are illegal and sarcasm is the national language. And the discipline at a boys' school is next level. Same rules, same expectations, and yep, the same corporal punishment. I got 3 of the best, and that's a whipping with a cane. And we used to mark them on our ties like some kind of sporting achievement. And all of that for getting the giggles in class. You know when you start laughing and you can't stop? And it gets worse? There was no hope for me. Over time, more and more girls joined the school, and by matric, we were 6 girls in my class. By then, we had cracked the code. If they teased you, they liked you. If they ignored you, they liked you even more. And if they were inexplicably polite, they either wanted something from you or they were in big trouble. My years at CBC were far more complex than being one of a few girls in the school. It was where and when we were growing up. This was South Africa in the 1980s, and CBC was a multiracial school in the height of apartheid. Inside the school gates, teenagers were just teenagers. There was no us and them. There was a lot of classroom shenanigans and sports and laughter. But outside the school gates, the country was tense and deeply divided and dangerous. One cold May morning, I was walking to school, blazer on. The day before at assembly, they told us not to wear our blazers. There was unrest, and wearing the blazer would draw attention because of what our school represented. That morning, I forgot. A stone came flying past me. Then another and another, voices screaming, people running. My heart was pounding. My body froze. And in the middle of all of that chaos, everything went silent. My blazer. And in that moment, I had a choice. Take it off and try to disappear and pretend as if I'm not part of it, or keep it on and keep walking. I kept it on, not because I was brave, not because I was fearless, but because I was my father's daughter. From that moment on, the blazer meant something different to me. It became a decision to show up, to stand firm and to keep walking even though it felt like the world was against you. Resilience is not built in big dramatic moments, but in the quiet ones, in the decisions that nobody applauds, in the choice again and again to put your blazer on. Inside those same school gates, I fell in love with a boy the world said I shouldn't. My father met him. He liked him a lot, but he looked at us and he said, "This won't be easy." And he was right. Outside the gates, he was black and I was white. On a bus ride, they tried to separate us. Whites downstairs, blacks upstairs. That was not a suggestion, that was the law. But we refused. We held hands tighter than we had ever held before. People hissed and they stared and they swore, but we never let go. Not once. And for that whole bus ride, we sat side by side, hand in hand. That too was putting the blazer on. Only now do I understand what my father was trying to teach us. Not on how to handle boys, but how to handle life. Because life will place you in rooms where you feel like you don't belong, where it's easier to blend in or to back down. But in those moments, you have a choice. Take the blazer off or put it on. The world is full of boys' schools. Walk in anyway. Thank you.
Andrea, as a graduate of Oratory Preparatory Catholic School for Boys, I thank you for your speech. That was beautiful. And I'm going to disagree with you on one point. You were very brave. Now, to give us the timekeeper's report, please welcome Roger.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Eugene was 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Am I correct? There was no first speaker?
He was the first speaker. Yes, the original first speaker was no longer there, but that still means there was a first speaker.
Right, okay. Okay, so our final speaker, Andrea, was 6 minutes and 50 seconds. So both within the time.
Well done. I imagine we break now for dinner. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we will reconvene in 30 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, we're back on.
Anna, can you hear me?
Yes,
Justine?
Hello, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Guys, Can you check that you stay close enough to the microphone that it's loud enough online?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster, thank you. We are all back from our dinner, and I hope you had a nice chat with your colleague or the person sitting next to you. So lovely to have you all here, and over to you, Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. It is time for me to introduce our Table Topics Master for today. Please welcome Michaela Geldof.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I have been talking about table topics in the midst of our break. And just to reiterate what Bill was saying, this is a really nice way to learn how to articulate yourself. A prepared speech is very different. You know what you're talking about. Your opinions come across. Whereas table topics, it's impromptu. It's you at a party meeting a stranger. It's you cornered in a taxi and someone says, hello, how are you doing? Or you're in a flight and you really want to read your book and the man next to you is desperate to have a chat. That was me the other day. And I was so grateful for Toastmasters because previously I would just crumble and ask to move. So with that being said, there are a few people, sorry, I left my yes and no's. There are a few people that said that they are willing to take on table topics tonight. So I'm gonna go with Gabriella first.
Oh. That's always the same one. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can you choose a number between 1 and 11?
Oh, God. 5.
5. Okay. Brilliant.
Oh, okay.
If your brain had a browser of tabs open right now, what would they be?
A browse of tabs. Hopefully, I can answer your question. Is it what you're going for? I mean, are you asking me what's going on in my brain?
Basically, if I had to open your brain at Gabrielle's screen, what is going on? Your perfect question to ask you.
Okay. It's really a mixture. It is the mixture of being in this club and be super proud of Andrea and Eugene. It's just, there's this, and then there is this gratitude to be in this room with all of you because there's such wonderful sharing always and friendship. So there's that going on, this joy of, is it not exciting? But I have got something always, and that is, do I fit? It's wherever I go, I think, do I really fit here? Do I bring enough to hold that space and to be a contribution? I hope I'm a contribution now. So, with my honesty. So that's what's going on there. And what else is going on there? We are going to travel soon, and I haven't got a ticket. Very funny. My husband went on the internet to buy a ticket from Spain, from Madrid, back to Cape Town. And he said, oh, there's a special offer. Qatar. I'm going to buy that. Business class. I'm going to buy that. Doesn't cost much. Oh, yeah. So I said, and he said, oh, there was only one space. Sorry, you are not in it. Thank you. Men think for themselves, isn't it, Andrea? So now I'm starting to relax because I think, okay, if this universe works, as our friend Eugene says, the right ticket and the right channel will fall into my place because I trust. And I always have this sentence now, and I'm not a religious person, but I think I'm quite spiritually inclined. I think it's God's will. The right channel will come, and I get the right ticket. And one way I got an economy, let's see what the universe brings to me, because he has to pay for my business back. So yeah, that's what's going on in my head. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I knew she was off to a great start. That was impeccably lucid. Well done.
Yeah.
Time to throw in the word.
I was dreaming about all of you.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, what a great start. Okay. Bulu, do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Cool, amazing.
And it is my first time.
It looks a lot scarier than what it is, trust me.
Okay.
And you're in a very welcoming space. So same thing, choose between number 1 and 11, but you can't choose 5.
Okay, 10.
10.
Stay. Oh, come on.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Normally with an egg, sorry. Okay, are you ready? So you also, like Gabrielle, she had time to think about it. So when you can speak whenever you're ready, you have time to gather your thoughts. So you have 24 hours with 0 responsibilities. How do you spend it?
Oh, wow. 24 hours, 0 responsibilities. I'm assuming that I also have 0 financial.
Oh no, let's pretend you have as much money as possible.
Okay. Yeah, this is perfect. I think I would take my favorite person down a drive to the West Coast. I think it's just the most beautiful and scenic drive ever. She is a teacher and loves to talk. I imagine she'll probably be talking the entire way there. I've got this really, really cute restaurant that I love to go to called Lito. It's close to the Strandloper. They serve just the most amazing fish there. We'll probably go there and have the fish. And then hopefully, because I have unlimited resources, we'll stay over. It's only about 7,000 Rand a night in this little boutique hotel in the West Coast. And then in the second day, well, I only have 24 hours, so probably in the evening, maybe spend some time at the waterfront, have some frozen yogurt, which is my favorite, and yeah, that's my 24 hours.
Sounds good.
See, a lot easier than you think it is going to be. Cool. My next person, maybe let's do someone on, no one said yes online. Anna. Always taking. Cool. Same deal. Number 1 to 10, can't choose. I need to really get a better filing cabinet system.
Number 4.
Number 4, you know what you want. Love it. Tell us about a time you resisted change and later realized it helped you grow. Let me get out your way. Do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
Tell us about a time you resisted change and later realized it helped you grow.
I would say it's quite personal. It was a time when I actually, it took quite a long time for me to decide to separate from my husband. And I resisted it for many years. And when I did finally separate, I really reflected back that I had grown a lot. We are still very good friends, but the change was very good for me. So that's it.
Well done. It's again those engines, what you like put behind and you kind of move in your momentum, your life just ultimately will be better. Next, who do we have? Maria? Yay! Cool, let me move out the way. So now we have 1 to 11. No,
7.
Nice, 9 to 1. Cool. These vary. So give a motivational speech to people stuck in traffic.
Okay. So I would say let's remember that we're all on the same path and we're all on the road together. So it's about thinking about each other, not only about ourselves. The benefits of being stuck in traffic is that we own a car or we have a mode of transport which is
personally amazing. The other tactic I like to use for myself when I'm feeling frustrated or impatient with other drivers is to imagine the person driving the vehicle in front behind me. Sometimes I find if I look at the car and what the car is doing, it feels really impersonal. So I quite like to see who's driving. Let's say there's a taxi and they're like being, making illegal moves on the road. Then I love to imagine the taxi driver and the passengers that it's carried, just as a sense of personalization, in understanding that other people are on the road with me. And lastly, I would say we will eventually get there. If we're going to be 5 to 15 minutes late, the world won't end. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably better than some of the radio presenters at the moment. So thank you. Do we have time for some more? I'm not keeping track of time. I'm pretty sure we do though.
Yeah, I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Bill. Your name is on here and you have to hear you speak.
Has three been?
No, 3 is all yours. Describe your personality as a weather pattern.
Madam Topics Master, my personality as a weather pattern. I think my wife would love to have this one. I think I come on pretty strong. So maybe something of a storm front, but at the same time, no one's going to get hurt. For me, I don't know. I don't think of myself in terms of weather. I know when I'm in front of a room, my voice is loud, I fill it, and people know that I'm there. But in terms of having what kind of effect that a weather has, no one's going to get a sunburn. No one's going to get involved in a flood. I just think that you have such limited time and so few opportunities to be in front of an audience that you have to make every single one of them count. Mm-hmm. And with that, make your voice strong, share your stories. If you're going to make a mistake, we were talking earlier, so what? Okay, but go out there and let people know you were there, right? My wife often makes the comments, oh my God, I hate the winters here. The winters here, I hate all the wind. And my sons go, Mom, it is called the Cape of Storms. So when you come here in the wintertime, you know where you are. And I think when you get the opportunity to be in front of an audience, they should know you were there. Very good.
I knew I loved the storm. We have more time. Marika?
She's online.
I never know where to look. Is she still here?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do, if that's okay, I didn't want to do it online. I was okay with doing it in person, but online, if that's okay.
That's okay. Is Tabang, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Hello, for my birthday,
But-
I would love it if you played the
But so is Kwame.
Between you two. So Kwame, you're next. Well played. I like your
Just
style.
threw me under the bus.
Yes, that's it. Don't worry, it's the storm. The storm lifted the bus. And I just,
This time it's not a debate, so you're on your own on this one, but luckily you're online, so it'll work a little bit better. But do you want to choose a number? Again, 1 to 11. Tabang first.
Oh, okay, me first, yeah? Between 11 and?
1 and 11, can't choose 10, can't choose 7, 5, or 3.
Happy with 11?
Nice. If your current self met you today, what would surprise them the most?
I'm going to give you another opportunity to ask that question because you have asked me. If my current self met me today.
Perfectly suited for everyone. If your current self met you today, what would surprise them the most?
Future.
So your future self. What? No, that's a good point. Is it? Okay, I see. Okay. Your past self. What would your past self be surprised with? Because your future self. I mean, unless you want to go in the tangents, it's table topics after all. But your past self.
Whichever tabang that will be, I will be 100% sure that they will be surprised that they will meet a wonderful person called Michaela, and Michaela is going to ask them if your current self met you today. And when that moment comes, she needs to grab it. Okay? She needs to grab that moment and introspect and be lucid in her answer. She is going to say, you have a 59-minute conversation with a friend. To you, it's just a conversation. But to them, it's a podcast. So they tell you for 2 years, Tabang, you've got to have a podcast. Tabang, you've got to have a podcast. And you're like, me? A podcast? I'm just an accountant. Give me numbers and I can make them dance. But a podcast, I even joined Toastmasters because I'm just that scared of speaking in front of people. So you want me to speak in front of a microphone? Never going to happen. But then Eugene said it. Your future is determined by where your thoughts are. So I concentrated my thoughts into the belief my friends have in me, and I said, maybe you can do it. And that would surprise future or past Tabang, depending on what Michaela wants it to be.
Thank you, Tabang. You never disappoint. Is there one for Kwame since he got thrown under the bus as well?
Yeah, he can do the laugh.
Perfect. Okay, so now let me tell you what numbers you do have left, and I promise will try not to confuse you. So you have number 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9.
I'll go for number 8.
Oh. Tell us about a time when everything went wrong, but somehow it worked out in the end.
So there was a time when everything went wrong in my life, and that was when I was about to start my engineering degree at the University of Cape Town. I missed my flight, I missed my bus, and I had to take public transport from the Eastern Cape to Cape Town. And halfway through the trip, when we arrived at a garage for a comfort break, I came back and the bus was gone with my whole school fees, almost $6,000, and I didn't know where to start. I saw a police van. I pleaded with them to assist me. They put me in their car and they drove for half an hour, and they said, no, there's no way they were going to catch this bus, and they left me by the roadside. I saw another bus. I pleaded with the driver, and he took me on. 4 hours into the drive, I spotted this bus, and I ran quickly to catch the bus, and then I finally found out that my money was intact, my school fees was intact. I think that moment motivated me to study very hard and pass and become the engineer that I am today. So it was a rough start, but it ended up being good. So that was a moment where everything went bad, and it ended up being good.
Wow. What a great story. I'm so glad that you ended table topics that way, because it's just a full circle of what everyone has been saying this evening. So thank you, Kwame, and I'm so glad you caught the bus in the end.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. Wow, that was an amazing story. Something I found out about table topics and doing them over all these years, there are so many times you hear a table topic and you say, that should be a speech. And that should definitely be a speech, right? So you catch these moments of people's lives, and sometimes you think of parallels in your own life. I have never had anything that drastic and so many instances where everything could go wrong, and yet the story turned out right. So what a fabulous, fabulous table topic session, and thank you so much, Michaela. All right, so now we're going to do a little something different. And again, like I was saying to those of you who are new to all of this with Toastmasters, normally right now we would have evaluations of the speeches where an individual would get up and give a 2 to 3 minute evaluation about what they thought, what they would commend about the speech, and suggestions that they would give in terms of making that speech better. Today, we almost have something peculiar in that we're going to actually ask the speakers to come up and talk about the transitioning, if you will, of their speech from the first time they gave it here at this club to then going on to area, and in Andrea's case, onto then division, and then onto the district finals. So let me start with asking Andrea to first tell us about her speech and how that speech basically came to life and how it changed over the various sets of contests over the Toastmasters year.
Thanks, Bill. So the way the speech actually came around and came about, I was sitting at Gabrielle's house, actually, the one evening when you invited us all to your house where we had a celebration, and Talisha and I were sitting next to each other. And she said to me, "Oh, what are you going to talk about next?" And I said, "I don't know. What are you going to do?" And we started chatting. And I said, "Maybe I'll speak about going to a boys' school." And Talisha said, "You went to a boys' school?" And I said, "Yeah, I went to a boys' school." And she goes, "Well, that could be quite a good topic to talk about." And I thought, okay. And then when I got home, I started putting a few thoughts together on what happened at the boys' school. And that's how the speech was actually born. But what I can tell you about my experience anyway is that every round from area from club to area to district to international, at every round I had to change the speech. What I didn't know is that you've got to do the same speech right through, but you can change what happens throughout the speech, but you've got to stick to the same topic. And I found that depending on the audience, you had to adapt, constantly updating, constantly changing to match the audience that was listening, because the speech is not only written once, the speech is actually built over a period of time. A very important thing for me was keeping the speech lucid, your message lucid. If you want to take your speech to the next level, you need to provide clarity. Your message has got to be very, very clear. And they say if you can't say your message in one sentence, it's going to confuse the audience. So you've got to be very clear. And once you have your message, then you can start building the story around it. And I built the stones and the bus, and and you can build all of that in. The heart of the speech for me was that resilience is a choice. You can take off the blazer, put it on. Putting it on is the resilience, is standing firm, standing tall. And that's what the message that I wanted to get across. But I had to build it, because it doesn't just come. Another thing is connection with the audience. And I found, also when I said to you constantly updating, it's the first time I gave a speech like that online on Zoom. And it was very awkward for me, and actually messed up the first 2 lines completely. I think 1 or 2 of you who've heard the speech before probably picked it up, but totally messed that up. The thing is that it threw me off being on Zoom, that I couldn't hear you guys. I couldn't hear you laugh. I couldn't hear your interactions. I couldn't see you, which it was a first for me. And so it also interferes with your time. How long is your speech? I can't hear you laugh. So do I wait longer? Did you laugh at that section, or didn't you laugh at that section? So it was quite confusing for me, not knowing. It's like literally I'm talking to a computer and I have no reaction whatsoever. So that was something that you have to adapt to and learn. And again, I've learned something today that I didn't know before. But connection is obviously very important. It's harder to connect via a computer, because I don't see you and I don't feel you and I don't see where your emotions are at. But storytelling, for me, it's one of the speeches that I enjoy doing the most, because you you have the opportunity to connect with an audience, to create real change and to get people thinking. Because when you say something about putting on the blazer, it might affect people in different ways. And I think for me, storytelling is exactly that. It's creating an emotion. And if you can have a speech where you're connecting with the emotion, I think it's a lot more powerful. Another thing that I had to do quite a lot is refine. I wrote, it was like 5 pages long. I thought, oh my goodness, this is like a 10-minute speech. Then you start cutting out, and even bits that you think, oh man, I can't leave that out. That's so funny. You got to take out if it doesn't fit within your time and if it doesn't serve your story. You really have to shorten it, refine it, change it, adapt it to the audience that's listening. Another thing that I learned that was quite different to what we have at club level. At club level, because we're doing all the Zooms and we're standing still in one place, suddenly I'm put on this huge stage and I'm like, oh my goodness, what do I do with all this space? That was unfamiliar to me as well. And I think that's, again, you have to adapt. And Verity, who won the competition in 2021, she said to me, Andrea, you've got to use the stage and you've actually got to ground yourself in different areas. And she taught me, she said, your past is my schooling, is this side, it's my right side, but it's your left. And the future is my left, it's your right. So it's a little bit confusing, but you need to learn how to ground and use the stage. And in the competition, I couldn't do it here, but in the competition, I could walk to the right and point to the right. And the same thing when I was speaking about the tension and the hardship and the outside the gates. Outside the gates was on that side. So it was very clear, the two, us versus them, school versus outside. It was a lot easier to demonstrate that by just using the stage. Another thing that's also important is how do you take it from funny part, the emotions, the kids, the teenagers, the smelly teenagers not using deodorant, to suddenly talking about apartheid. It's quite a massive transition. And that's where we learned at Toastmasters to use vocal variety. When you start talking about something a little bit more serious, you can lower your voice a little bit. You can slow down a little bit. You draw the audience in. When you go a little bit more quiet, people want to hear more. So that's, how to transition from a very energetic situation to a more deeper sections of your speech. And then adapting, which I mentioned before. I found that some audiences laughed a lot for certain things, and then others, I just got a few giggles. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with this audience? Like, oh my gosh, you feel like, what have you done wrong? But then you actually realize you've got to adapt your speech. You've got to change it. At club, I was using the word heerlijke. I don't know if some of you heard the Afrikaans word. I tried to make it funny by using the word heerlijke for one of the parts, but then I couldn't use that in the international stage because nobody knows what heerlijke means in Afrikaans, because they're from Lesotho, they're from Botswana and Namibia. They don't know what that word means. So you have to learn to adapt according to the audience that you are. But I can tell you that I rewrote my speech about 27 times just to see if I, and again, changing it every time at club, at district, etc. It's quite incredible what you have to. It's not just about doing a 7-minute speech. There's so much other things to remember. It's where you stage, your vocal variety, it's the connection with the audience, it's remembering your speech to start off with. So a lot happens in those 7 minutes. A lot happens up here in those 7 minutes at the same time. And obviously learning how to control your nerves, which was a big thing for me. But I have to tell you is that over time, and the more I did it, the easier it became. And I strongly encourage everyone to just get up and to do it, because it does become easier as you go along. Thanks very much.
Thank you. That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Andrea. Let's ask Eugene to come up, please, and tell us about his the project of his speech. Thanks, Eugene.
Yeah, so sort of the journey of getting that speech to the end result that it was, to anyone that has seen the speech previously, it's a whole different speech. So that was mostly Verity's work, because every time I speak about this subject, it's always very abstract, like the dopamine menu, the dream engine, and going into the theory of it and talking about what the authors and the teachers had talked about without the personal element to it. So there was none of my own personal story, or I think there's never been any of it in any of my speeches. It's always very abstract. But then sitting with Verity, who won the speech contest previously internationally, so she of the bar was like, you need to make yourself the hero of the story. We need to know. The speech was all about Napoleon Hill at some point, which it wasn't contest level ready. And so she said, you need to make yourself the hero of the story. And so I tried to cheat a bit and not go all the way and just put a bit of my story in there without going into very deep detail and being what now I've done it. I don't know what I was afraid of. Was a bit challenged about being vulnerable, but there was nothing about that I should have been worried about. But I always was always trying to negotiate and not go all the way and tell the full story. But then she would always come back and try to get the speech right, because she could feel there was a better speech there that she wasn't seeing at that point. And then eventually I sort of put the whole story down on paper. Why do I give all these speeches that I give and talk about all these sort of teachings about influencing your outcomes by influencing your thoughts? And yeah, I think the end result of it is quite good, because what it has done is sort of help me reframe what was probably sound like a horror story to a lot of people. But at this point, looking back, it's not. It's a very cool story in my opinion. And yeah, when this contest was going on, and every time I gave the speech, first of all, this is the first time where the personal bit has been said in front of an audience. It was always, like I said, very abstract and going into stack your angels this way to get a house in Camsby or whatever. And so now that it's sort of grounded in my own personal experience, I just feel very proud about it, proud about the journey it's taking me on to get to this final speech. I actually kind of now think that I wasn't probably not gonna go give this speech at the in the US or whatever like that. It was just meant for me to come to this stage and then and tell the story this way. And even with that whole mix up with, oh, you're not giving the speech at area, it was all worth it, because I always knew I was going to give a speech like this. I didn't know it was going to be the dream engine laced in with what my story was. And so I'm just really proud of how it turned out. And it turns out I'm giving the speech at UCT on Wednesday. I think so. I don't know. Yeah. And so it all worked out. So I'm really happy with how it turned. I'm really grateful for Verity for her guidance and to Gabriel and Justine on like all the encouragement he gave me each time I gave the speech at each stage of the contest, and for the whole club for all the support. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Eugene. Roger, do you have a timekeeper's report on those two self-evaluations?
Yes, I do actually. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to be doing it. I didn't use these because I wasn't sure if it was because it was different to the usual evaluation.
Sure.
But Andrea, if I was supposed to be using these, she went well over time. There's 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Eugene, 3 minutes and 55.
Oh, wow. It's so young.
Yeah. Well done. Thank you. Now, I believe it's time to vote for our favorite table topics.
Do you want me to give the time result for the table?
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Gabrielle was the longest.
Sure.
Well done, Gabrielle. 2 minutes and 22 seconds, but still within the time. Ulfu, Ulfu, 1 minute 12 seconds. Anna, 40 seconds. Maria, 55 seconds. Our Toastmaster of the evening, Bill, 1 minute 30 seconds. Tabang, 2 minutes 18 seconds. And Kwame, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Very good.
Okay, so just for all of you that are new to this, this is the only club I know that does this, and I love it. This QR code, anyone can vote. You don't have to be a member. If you're here at the meeting, you have the right to vote for who you thought was the best of the table topics. So just take a picture of that with your camera and make your vote for who you thought was the best on table topics. It's right there, Jerry. How much longer do we normally give for this?
I think we're good.
We're good? Okay, it's now time for our functionaries to give their reports. I'll start off with Michaela giving her counter report.
Thank you. I mean, I was juggling a lot, so there's some point that I forgot what role I was doing. But I just want to point out, Eugene, what I noticed is that you have paused a lot more than you use your crutch words. So you my crutch word is so, but you have stopped saying so many times. You've actually paused and then think about it. And that takes a lot of practice, even though it sounds like it should be as easy as breathing. So well done. That was really well noted. Gabrielle, you know. Then there was a couple of R's, but that's a normal thing that we're always trying to get rid of. Then Tabang, you completely threw me off guard when I threw you off guard, and then that's when I stopped counting everyone's. But it was really nice to hear that it was not so many likes, which I think we're slowly getting rid of in this club because that's a very South African thing. So well done, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't count meticulously.
Yeah. Thanks, Michaela. And our final report is our grammarian. Please welcome back Anna.
Thank you. I must confess, I actually forgot to listen to specific words so I have just listened to who has mentioned lucid. It was Michaela once, Gabriella once, Tabang once, thank you, Tabang, and Andrea once. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. And it is now time for me to hand back over the gavel to our president, Justine. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be the Toastmaster tonight.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Well done, Bill.
Yay. Yay. Well, thank you so much. We all really appreciate, I'm not going to do that. We all really appreciate you taking the time and showing us what a great Toastmaster can be. Not that we haven't got great Toastmasters, but just a great Toastmaster standing up here explaining. I loved how you explained all the roles really, really well.
Yeah.
And also explaining the roles really well and just giving us a really nice all-rounded idea for our guests, especially what Toastmasters is all about. And even as older Toastmasters sitting here and hearing how you explain certain things is really great. So thank you. We really, really appreciate it. And then to our fabulous superstars, Eugene and Andrea, you guys rock. You're amazing. I literally sit there with my heart feeling so full and proud of you. So congratulations. And we have to give a special congratulations to Andrea, who represented our ToastEd club in Lesotho. She was in the District 74 contest and she came second. Woo! We are so proud of you, Andrea. Really, really well done. And it's just so beautiful, Eugene and Andrea, to see how your speeches have transformed from when you first started to where they are now. So thank you for sharing those with us. And we are so proud of you. So thank you.
Thanks, Justine,
for
your support.
Meantime, I want to just check in all of you online. Do you mind please turning your cameras on so we can see your beautiful faces again? I just want to check in with our guests online, how you are, how you're feeling, what's your feedback. Tell us all. I'm going to start with Marika. How was your evening with us? I know you're online, it's very different in person, and hopefully you'll be with us next time in person. But how did you find the evening?
I enjoyed the content of the speeches. I don't enjoy being online. The sound isn't great, so that's not great. But the actual content of the speeches and the people and the information people have given to me, we had a lovely chat online. So I've really found out about the extent to which Toastmasters goes. Yeah, that I have enjoyed, but I definitely would prefer to be in person. And the battery on my phone started dying, and all these technical things that happen are just not fun. But thank you for having me, and yeah, at least I got to listen to the speeches.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being with us, for dealing with the tech issues. That always seems to be something that happens. We know that all too well, setting this up. Does it sound a bit better now with this, where the speaker is? It's right at my feet. I'm seeing Linda nodding. It's a little bit better. Sorry. Okay, I put it on the table, so we won't do that again.
No, it's nothing that you've done wrong. It is just the nature of being online and trying to hear in a room. It's never as good as it is when you're in person, but that's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah,
the little technical tricks do help, and it does sound better now.
Okay, great. So we'll just keep it on the floor. But thank you for the feedback, because we do love the feedback. We want to keep learning and making the experience for our online guests as special as it is in the room. It's not quite the same, but we still want to make you feel included. So thank you, Marika, and we look forward to seeing you in June. And Linda,
well,
how are you? Did you enjoy the online session?
I agree with Marika that online is not as it's not as warm, it's not as participatory, it's not as lucid as typical. But thank you so much for doing all that. And I must say that I particularly enjoyed both speeches tonight. They were both absolutely outstanding by the emotions that I felt were, even though it was online, the emotions that they brought up were very concrete and very, very, very real. And to me, both speeches were speeches that I will remember, and that's what I enjoy about Toastmasters, are these pearls in the speeches that come out every now and again. So thank you very much for our speakers and for the organizers and for the whole Toastmasters team.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then Eugene, sorry, do you mind being my Zoom master? Just we can check in with our guests in the room. Should I turn the speaker off again, maybe? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move to a different screen. I'll see you now.
So, okay. Thank you, Eugene, for helping us with technical issues. You first up today. Well done. You did a table topics. What I loved is that your name was called and you were up straight away. You didn't even think.
So nervous, I was ready.
Well done. Well done. How great does it feel though? Yeah.
Like feeling to like overcome a fear or just to like take a risk
Yes.
and do something that you would.
Yeah.
It was good afterwards.
Well done.
I was
Yeah, you
nervous.
did great.
I was nervous, but I felt like my topic was doable. So that
Yeah.
was also a really
Okay.
didn't show.
No, it didn't
Thank you.
show. Yeah, well done. So you enjoyed your second night with us? Okay, and we'll see you in June. Okay, thank you so much. How was your evening with us?
It was amazing. I think to me, the standout was just the people that I met.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting people. I really just enjoyed my evening. Thank you, June.
Fabulous. And you also were so brave. You stood up and you did a table topics and you spoke and it was great.
Oh God, but I was like,
Well, you did great. You recovered. Well done. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been really lovely to have you. Thank you. How was your evening with us? Yeah. Oh, well done. Okay, yay! We love it. So it was, we'll hopefully see you in June. Great. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. What was your evening with us, Leora?
Lovely. I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know what to expect. And what I'm surprised by is the camaraderie and the support and the love that you all give each other, which is, you know, I thought it was more sort of a business networking thing where we have to all bring business cards and that kind of thing. So it's been a big surprise and I've really enjoyed it. And I look forward to coming again, but not in June.
Okay.
I'll be somewhere warmer.
Oh, lucky you. Maybe July.
July.
Okay,
yes,
amazing.
Yes, look forward to that.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you.
along.
Thanks
Just
for
lovely
making me
things.
feel so welcome.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Thank you. How was your evening?
Your club is always so welcoming. The speeches, of course, were incredible. I loved the table topic variety, and everybody got up there and did a great job. It was smoothly run. It was a really lovely evening.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so nice to have you. And congratulations on your new grandchild. Yay! And you're meeting her on Friday. Oh, so lovely. Lovely. Send us some pictures. Well, thank you for coming and being with us tonight. And Bill,
Yes.
as Toastmaster and a guest.
Well, current me really enjoyed the meeting. Had I talked to past me about it, I wouldn't have believed that I could have this much fun. But future me is looking forward to coming again.
We love all the three of you.
Yeah, all three of us. Yeah. Hopefully I don't get charged for 3 meals.
Thank you so much again, and it's lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Eugene, for being my Zoom master person and getting the camera ready for me so I can make my round. Congratulations to Fulu and Maria for standing up here, being courageous and brave and taking on the table topics. I know it's not easy, but you did it. And each time it just gets easier and easier. So well done to the both of you. And Michaela, thank you for the wonderful table topics. They were really fun. And I think it was really nice for members and for guests to just see that it doesn't always have to be such a serious topic. It can be something that's easy and just free-flowing and, you know, describing whatever it might be. So thank you so much, Michaela. Okay, so because we only had 2 speeches and they were contest speeches, we didn't do any voting for speeches. Usually we vote for best speaker, best evaluator, and then best table topics. But tonight we're just doing best table topics. So, oopsie. I'm going to share my screen for our awards. Okay, are we ready? Oh, so best table topic. Kwame! Yay, well done, Kwame! So great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a great one. We are so relieved you made it.
Wow.
After all of those little moments, my goodness.
Oh,
Well
thank you,
done,
guys.
Kwame. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
I also want to thank all of our role players. I know there were some role players this evening who were doing double roles. Michaela, thank you. Sorry, that was a little bit mishandled. But we just help each other as we go. But thank you to all the role players. Our next meeting is the 2nd of June. Please save the date. It's a Tuesday because it will be the first Tuesday of the month. And our theme is going to be Turning Point. Please save the date. And for our members, please, please, please sign up for roles. We're looking for a Toastmaster. We're looking for speakers. We're looking for evaluators, R counter, grammarian, timer, all the roles. They're free as a bee. So please come and sign up with Michaela. And we look forward to seeing you all then. So thank you very much. Good night. Sleep tight and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
What is Verity coming here?
Excuse me?
Verity, when is she coming on?
I'll pass on the message that you are requesting her. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Well
Good
done,
night.
Brad. Well done, Eugene.
Thanks, Libby.
Well
Good
done,
night.
Kwame. Get better, Julia.
Libby, thanks.